What is going on, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Pitch Podcast, the beautiful game of life, part of the Believe Network. I'm Ramsey Abushala, editor of UrbanPitch.com, and as always, I'm joined by the co-executive directors of Vibes, Bridget Flores, Julian Matorosa. What's going on, y'all?
Woo.
We in here.
I got a little NPR type intro going right now. This is like, just low energy. Today we're gonna be talking about some things going on in the soccer universe. So a little ASMR type vibes going on, but we gotta up the energy here. I don't know what's going on.
You're gonna get some unwanted fans, and Mel gonna get back.
Hey man, no, all publicity is good.
You
publicity.
sound like you're about to start the beginning of like a smooth jazz radio.
Yeah. And next coming up, we got Little River Band, followed by we got Miles Davis coming up and.
Followed up by next upcoming.
Yeah. Up and coming.
What was the name of your team?
Oh yeah,
Rising Stars.
Followed up by Rising Stars. It's a little team, a little Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas. Just playing smooth.
You were listening to 93.9 The Wave.
Oh,
The Wave.
No, but it's a solo episode today. We got lots of stuff to cover. This weekend, upcoming, by the time this will be out, El Trafico will have come and gone. We're recording this on a Friday. El Trafico's on a Sunday. This will be coming out on a Tuesday. So we can't really preview it as it already happened. We can't recap it as it hasn't happened yet. But
I can recap it.
Yeah.
LAFC a lot. LA Galaxy a little.
for both the score and the fans.
The stadium was blocked out. I'm predicting right now.
So we'll see how those comments age.
That might age
come
bad.
Tuesday. Yeah, but so I was thinking we could kind of take a look at where both teams are at currently, because I think it's a little bit of a tale of two cities type vibes right now, and then we can just take a look at the rivalry as a whole. What some of the best moments. I know we've done this in previous episodes, but just kind of like observing it now. This will be the first matchup. We missed the Rose Bowl. That'll be coming up July 4th, but we'll all be in attendance. So looking forward to that. But where do you see these two teams coming into this match now? Like, which team is this game more important for, in your opinion?
I think for both, it's important in different ways. I think for LAFC, it's more of like they have to stand their ground and stay strong from what they've created last season to what they're creating into this season. And this is the opportunity for them to kind of like make a name for themselves at Carson. I think for Galaxy, it's more of like holding the legacy that they want to say that they have against LAFC at Carson, and to try to hold on to that, like that idea that, they run LA, all the ads that they've been coming out with is like Los Angeles versus LAFC, which is very interesting. But I feel like both important, but in different ways.
Angry tone. Los Angeles.
Yeah. I know. I was just like, you don't got to do all
they
that.
Couldn't. I mean, both. I think it's really interesting because both teams couldn't be in more different places, right? I mean, LAFC.
One's on top, one's on the bottom.
Yeah, LAFC's coming off of a championship. It's been a. Bridget, come on, man.
She gotta grow up. Yeah.
Come on. That wasn't even that. Like that wasn't even that
but you
bad.
Saw, you
I know
saw.
he looked first.
No, she looked first.
He knew. He knew. I like it went over my head until you started cracking up. Yeah.
We gotta grow up. We gotta grow up.
Okay. Let's get back into it.
This is getting really bad as the episodes go on.
Yeah, it's getting worse and worse. But I mean, maybe this is just our brand. Just
who we
fourth
are.
Grade humor.
Yeah.
Like maybe we should just lean into
That's
this
how
more.
we bond.
Yeah.
Better than Barcel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're more third grade, second grade.
Taking shots out of the podcast. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
But so like I was saying before,
BetOnline remains your #1 source for all your sport betting this season. Everything from pro and college basketball to UFC/MMA and more. You'll always find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. With live betting options, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. BetOnline is truly the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite leagues and events. Head to website today or use your mobile device to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use promo code BELIEVE, That's BLEAV to receive your rewards. BetOnline.ag, where the game starts.
We can't say top or bottom, I guess, anymore.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we really can't. So one team is at the
first place,
at the pinnacle of this.
Ooh,
so
I like that.
right, and the other
Ooh, I
one
like
is
that.
in the cellar, right? So, I mean, Galaxy. So LAFC coming off of a MLS championship, they've gotten off to a really hot start to start the season. I think they're down a game, but they're still in third place. So I think they're at currently 14 points or something like that, or around there, 17
14.
points.
I think it's
14.
4 wins, 2 ties.
Yeah. So whereas LA Galaxy in that same amount of six matches, they've gotten 3 points out of those 6 matches. So yeah, three draws, three losses, and they haven't really been. There's not been like a lot of close. Like we were in this game. It's been 3-0 to Houston, a couple bad losses, and then some draws that were just like they were lucky to get out of.
They're lucky it wasn't an out.
But the thing is, they're missing like firepower on top. Chicharito hasn't been completely healthy.
A lot of injuries.
Right.
Whatever his last name, Jovic, whatever. And then like they've had that young kid come in, but he hasn't really proved himself to be at the. He was scoring a lot of goals for Galaxy too, but that first game he had some chances and didn't make it.
There's a learning curve.
It's a learning curve. He's coming up, but like they need their Chicharito there. They need that leader there for confidence. The guy that can actually put him away.
And he was a huge part of their success last year too.
It's not that they are just playing like they're going through the motions, and by just going through the motions, they are getting chances. They're just not. Yeah, so I think this team is better than what it is. For this game coming up, they're going to be hurting. No Costa, no Cáceres. Their other backup center back is hurt, so I'm pretty sure Zabaleta and Neal will be in the back there.
Bond is still out.
Bond is still out, yeah. So they've just been going with the injury bugs, plus of the whole boycott thing.
Yeah,
it's
so
like
that was what I was going to get into next.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours.
Yeah,
and it's pouring in LA.
Right. Yeah, I mean it has
Carson.
been
At Carson.
This guy.
South Bay. Yeah. So that's the next thing. That's the next thing is now like you can kind of see the fan base is like. They were already mad going into the season. It's been a terrible start. Now they're even more upset. Chris Klein came out with a statement to
PS letter.
Yeah,
I mean a letter.
So okay, so
Yes.
maybe let's get into that. So what you think it's a cop out? Should we read the letter?
Let's read it for the people that don't know.
Okay, let me pull it up.
Give me back that voice.
Yeah, the NPR voice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this here. I didn't do my warm-up. Okay, so he says, LA Galaxy season ticket members. I love the LA Galaxy. The most important part of the club is the people who are involved every day who share the same passion that I do. Our staff, our players, and everyone at AEG work tirelessly to give you a club that you can feel a part of and be proud of. I uphold the values established by those who came before me, those who are here now, and those who will carry the club into the future. This includes accountability for the results on the field. When we hired Greg Vanney at the end of the 2020 season, he had a plan to build out the soccer operations for our club, and he laid out a 5-year plan to build the LA Galaxy into a club that competes for championships year in and year out. This plan including making the playoffs in 2022 and advancing into the playoffs in 2023. I believe in what we are building and the people who are building it. However, if we fall short of our goals this year, which is advancing the playoffs, I will step aside as president of the club that I so dearly love. This was my commitment to Dan Beckerman and AEG when I agreed to my extension, and I stand behind that promise. Chris Klein. So there could be a little bit of going back and retconning some stuff where like he can kind of say that now that this was what he promised. This is I already said this to the front office. I don't know. Like we don't know that we.
I've heard through the grapevines that he has told people that he is not going nowhere.
He said
this
that.
is basically what the letter
He
sounds like.
did the Jordan Belfort.
Yeah,
he said
he's not going anywhere.
I'm not leaving. I'm not
leaving.
Yeah, that's what the letter sounds like, and he's basically saying I'm not going to go anywhere. I have this extension, and if we don't succeed in any way this season, then yes, I'll step down. But for now, I'm gonna stay.
Yeah. So,
yeah, but he's saying playoffs, like
playoffs.
Yeah, like I'm ninth in the team making the playoffs. Wow, like
yeah,
especially for a team like all right, like all the jokes I talked about the Galaxy just because sometimes they get mad, the fans get mad, but to all seriousness, like it just hurts to see that because like such an elite team. It's like no other, especially this is LA. LA, city of champions.
Sure.
Dodgers, Lakers, like these historic franchises that have championships, they have never fallen so hard on times like this. Of course, the Lakers have had off seasons, but they bounced back. Dodgers they had 20 plus years, but they just came back with a championship.
Yeah.
The Galaxy are falling, and they're falling every year. Is like it seems like something new comes out how bad they're falling.
Yeah.
And then it hurts more when your city rivals are doing everything right. They're winning championships.
Yeah.
They're taking over your city, taking over, as Galaxy supporters say, taking over your old fans. Like they're doing, and because they're doing everything right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're giving you good product. They're giving you La La Land. They're giving you parties. They're giving you fun. They're giving you championships. That's all we want.
Right.
Championships. So for the Galaxy, like for them to have bad seasons, it's like when the Lakers had a bad season and the Clippers were coming up, and all these little kids were like, "Oh, let's go Clippers!" Like, you don't know history. Shut up. Let me kick you.
Well, I mean, but you can't blame those kids.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
It was like, am I going to watch
wanna-
Robert Sacre or Blake Griffin and Chris Paul?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't blame them.
but then the Lakers did something about it, and
Yeah.
they're like, okay, you're still gonna be little bros. Let me win a championship before you guys.
Yeah.
On your best seasons,
Sure.
let me show you. And like Galaxy, instead of showing LAFC how to do it, they're just showing LAFC how they're doing it right.
Yeah.
They're just reaffirming them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw, I think it was the Cooligans.
The Cooligans, you said, this is the year.
Where like this is a pivotal year for the Galaxy in that like if you're a new soccer fan in LA and you're trying to pick a team, like is there a decision to be made? Like is there like a dilemma? You know what I mean? Like is it a tough decision to choose which team to root for? Like you have one team who it's the cool kid on the block. They have, great stadium atmosphere. They're in the heart of the city, all this stuff. And they outline this all better than I'm doing right now. And on the other hand, it's a team that's the club is in shambles. They're not playing well. The front office is, making questionable decisions. The fans are protesting. It's like, why would you want, what would draw you to that right now?
And plus, this is the scariest thing about it all. This Sunday might be a blackout Sunday. The fans, your rival, your arch rival, taking over your stadium.
Yeah.
That will be awful. Like, and I've seen things on Instagram like, how can they be so disrespectful? Like they should have like class and like no, all is fair in love and war.
Yeah,
like
the tickets are available. Like
they're gonna take advantage of them.
If I see V Block like dale black and go that for like the front office should see that
show them.
And it makes something happen. Like that'll be the most embarrassing thing ever to happen to any team all across sports.
Yeah. So that gets back to the original question I asked is, which game is this more important for? Which team is this game more important for? It's got to be LA Galaxy. Yeah. Because if LA Galaxy, if worst case scenario, okay, well, now we're getting into speculation, which, is going to be outdated by the time this comes out, but worst case scenario, right? It's a full LAFC crowd, maybe like 80-20, where you still have 20% Galaxy fans. And if the Galaxy still pull out a win, they're walking out with more than just 3 points. They're saying, look, they still can't beat us in Dignity Health. Mm-hmm. This could turn that. It could be potentially a thing to kind of ignite the team. That's like you said, Julio has been playing with little to no spark. They're without direction. They're going through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have their team leaders in the lineup, which has stuff to do with that. But if they're able to somehow pull out a victory, I think that would mean much more to them than it would mean for LAFC to win, even though that'll be their first win on the road in this rivalry. But I think it's much more important for LA Galaxy.
Did you guys see Vanny blow up before 2 days ago?
I saw that.
He basically said like outside noise will be outside noise. Yeah. Like he basically
he was a little bitter.
Yeah, he was like you guys are fans. Like why should we listen to you guys? Like it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
But there's no time for that. You gotta like when Memo came to the podcast. Shout out to Memo.
Shout out to Memo. Yeah.
He said he was like something they preached was like let the outside noise beat the outside noise. Let's worry about how we can stay together as a team. And he showed that it's getting to him.
Yeah.
It's getting to him.
And I think, I don't know if y'all saw, but I saw something on Instagram that said that apparently Chris Klein and someone else reached out to the president of the supporters group for Galaxy, and they had like a meeting on this week sometime, I think on Wednesday, and they were like, practically begging them to show up to the game, and the president of I think it's like the ACB, the president of the ACB,
Brigade,
they were like, no, we're not going to show up. And that they also got a call from Chicharito himself to ask them to show up and support. But I'm like, where was this energy in the very beginning when they said we're not going to show up to games? Where was this energy when it mattered to set the tone for the whole season? Like, now you want people to show up because this is a game that goes between the two LA teams at your stadium, and you want people to show face. But it's like, where's the value behind that?
Right.
Like, the conversation should have been happening from the very beginning, and now they're doing it to like be performative, and I don't think that that's okay. And it's disrespectful to the supporters because they are a big part of what Galaxy is now, and they're not giving them the respect that they deserve. So I think that it made sense for them to like say no,
hold their ground.
They have to hold their grounds. Like,
at this point.
but
you
at this point, like,
not to.
it sucks though, because everything that could go wrong for them is going wrong.
Yeah,
Bad start, protest, and now
No
potentially,
wins.
potentially, and this is, I'm telling you, I'm going back to this just because I'm like, this will be like, all right, it's fun to make fun of your rivals, but this would just be embarrassing.
Yeah. We could taunt them and things like that because you like that energy.
It's
you know?
better when
back
both
and
teams are
forth.
good, though.
It's better when both teams are good, and it's better if it's like a back and forth thing.
Right.
Yeah, like making
But
fun
right
of
now
a Clipper
they're-
fan. Like, it's
Right.
like, why?
But right now they're like going through it, and you kind of feel a little bit bad.
Julio feels some type of way to the Clippers, man.
Why?
Shout out to the Lakers though, making it.
No, it's because the Lakers. No, because like a lot of guys say like, oh yeah, LAFC fans are Clippers.
Yep.
Like, no, like you guys are the Clippers right now. Like your atmosphere in the stadium is not that fun. You're
not
like,
winning games.
You're not winning any games. You're the person running your team is kind of weird.
It's weird energy.
Weird energy.
So that comparison is interesting to make. The Clippers are still the Clippers because they had all the pieces to win a championship
and they didn't do it,
did.
and that's why they're the Clippers.
So if LAFC were to have faltered last year, I mean, last year we were saying, Julio, you were saying it's championship or bust.
Bust.
You know,
If
you were saying if we don't win a championship this year, it'll be a huge embarrassment. You know, it'll be you know.
I would have became a meme
we
for nothing.
came through, baby.
Exactly. But credit to them, you know, they came through. It was a wild finish, you know,
Crazy
run up. Even in the games before, you know, Austin wasn't that much of a competition, but the Galaxy LAFC game, that first round of the play or second round, I guess, and like it was, you know.
Galaxy did take him to the last minute to win that game.
Exactly.
And to be honest, that was Galaxy game.
Yeah.
And I said this plenty of times already.
That's what Vanny was saying too.
Yeah, and I said it too. Like last year, like that game was just such like a weird game because LAFC was Galaxy and Galaxy was LAFC.
Right. In terms of the way they were playing.
the way they were playing. Galaxy had the ball most of the time. LAFC was just sitting back,
counterattacks,
and then they won the game.
Yeah.
It's usually like that, and Carson is always like that. LAFC plays a heck of a game, and Galaxy always finds a way to win it.
Right.
And that's how it was for that playoff game.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Another thing. Thank you. That's another thing that I was thinking too. Is I feel like when it comes to playing against LAFC, they want to show up and they want to show out.
They always play better.
They always play better, and they always want to like prove who they are as a team. Right now, they're not. They don't have their star player, but that's also another side of it that I'm like that we have to consider is like. They're playing against the team that they don't want to lose against. The one team in the league that they don't want to lose against.
Right.
Especially at home.
Yeah.
Especially
But
at
what did
home.
Moose say? When Moose came on the podcast, he said when LA Galaxy plays against LAFC, they play so good they can even beat Real Madrid.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Wow. That was a deep cut. That was almost a year ago.
Yeah, it was.
We out here. We've been out here for a while.
I know. Yeah, there's just so many interviews. It's hard to remember.
There you go.
But I will say though, the team that like the second half of last year's Galaxy team compared to now,
hottest team in the
it's
MLS.
night and day though because they were dynamic, they were playing with fire. They had, you know, they were scary, and right now it's like compared to this current Galaxy team, it just feels like it's been, you know, lukewarm. There's been no real spark, and so maybe this will be the kind of, you know, the ignition that they need.
Murphy's Law.
I don't know how that. Whatever goes wrong.
Everything that can go wrong. Can go wrong.
But I don't know how does that apply to this?
Because the Galaxy, everything's going wrong for them.
Okay.
Like fans are not supporting.
But I don't
team
think
is
it
not
relates
playing.
to what you were saying.
Team is not playing good. Like
sure.
And now this could be another thing that's gone wrong. Your stadium being invaded by your arch enemies.
Yeah, that would be another domino to fall down. But so let's talk about LAFC a little bit.
They're amazing.
They give me that like, this is my house energy. Like every game that they play.
What kind of energy is that?
It's like, I don't know, they're the top dogs right now. Don't mess with them.
Is there a 3-letter acronym that maybe might apply to that? I don't know. It's slipping my mind. I don't know.
No, this is over.
So what would it mean for LAFC to lose this game into the whole mix of things?
It would be upsetting for fans, but it really wouldn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Just for simple, like it would mean a lot because of course you want to win that game, but you got a semifinal to worry about next week.
Right. It's going to be a tough stretch for them.
Yes.
Yeah, we were
forward.
just talking about that.
Yeah. So the next round of the CONCACAF Champions League, this is played out. So they'll be facing Philadelphia Union in an MLS Cup final reunion.
Redemption for Philly.
Yeah. So I think after this game, Sunday they'll go next week to Nashville, and then the fall. I think it's a Tuesday. They go to Philly, and then they come back here to play Houston, and then I think it's another Tuesday. They're back here. So that's
no. It's I think it's a Saturday, Wednesday.
Saturday. Oh, is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Saturday, either way. But it's just,
but midweek. But they're going to be on the road, and they're at home.
Yeah.
Still a lot of travel,
a lot of soccer
across the country,
soccer happening.
A lot of soccer, and then against pretty solid teams too.
Yeah. No, yeah, like and like the Galaxy. I'm not saying like the Galaxy is gonna be an easy game. It's just gonna be like 4 games of just trying to figure it out.
In a 2-week span.
Yeah,
Less than 2 weeks.
Considering all the other games coming up, it could be that Galaxy is the one that they're the least worried about.
So this is a trap game. Is this a trap game for LAFC?
It might if they don't like honestly if they don't take Galaxy serious because it always comes to the season where the LAFC starts with a great start, hot start. And then this Galaxy, it always comes out with Galaxy is not doing so good. And it always feels like LAFC, look at them. They're knocked down already. Like,
right.
we just gotta show up and we're ready to win. And then Galaxy is always like, no, dude, like, let me swing one time, see if I can get a knockout. And they always do.
Execute, yeah.
So I
feel like it might not mean the biggest thing for LAFC,
it means a lot,
they have to execute. They have to win and they have to show who they are, especially at Carson, because it's more than just a game. It's just like setting a tone of the rivalry, right?
Sure.
And maybe it could give Galaxy that like push that they need to like step their game up for the rest of the season because they lost against LAFC.
But pushing ahead from that, so talking about CONCACAF Champions League, as fans, what would you want the team to be prioritizing a CONCACAF Champions League victory over an MLS Cup repeat, or like where would you guys where do you stand on the priority of that? What would you rather have, another back-to-back or CONCACAF Champions League? Second to one.
No. But the thing is, like, it's so early in the season. Like, I will like shout out Kobe. Put all your eggs in one basket. Like, if we want this Champions League, it could potentially set up for winning. Was it Leagues Cup after? US Open, hopefully, and then win another MLS Cup. But I feel like this is the time, especially with the hot start. All your eggs should be in the Champions League. We have to win that. You have to win that because you want to be that second to one.
Yeah.
You want to show, and plus it's not even only second to one, whatever. It's just showing that MLS dominance.
Sure.
That there's been a lot of talk back and forth about Mexico still a little bit higher ranked. No, like let's put a stop to that and show that MLS soccer has not only outgrown Mexico, but is getting to a point where it could be a world-class level league.
But the only thing is that you run the risk of having what happened to Seattle last year, which was they put all their eggs in the CCL basket, and then they got hurt, they were beat up, and then they had ultimately a disappointing season where they didn't make the MLS playoffs. I'm sure Sounders fans are very happy that they won the CONCACAF Champions League, but I'm sure that I don't know. So I don't know where that happens. So would you be okay then if they, let's say, a key player is a little hobbled, but they still play him 90 in a CONCACAF Champions League game to win the final, but then he might be missing some key moments down the stretch, and then that ultimately leads to a less than successful MLS regular season. Would you be happy with that still? I
think LAFC is deep. So you can go.
No, go ahead.
I think they're so deep to the point where like one player being hurt wouldn't make a difference. Last week, Maldonado came in, the Honduran guy, he hasn't really gotten minutes, and he showed out, and he showed up too. Like, he was really good. So there's deep from defenders, goalies, to middles and forwards. They're deep in every position. Like, Buick or Bella's out, Buick can come in, and he's a baller. Tillman or Illy. Tillman can both all
the
do it.
substitutes are very equal. And I think that it goes back to what we were talking about in the last podcast. Like, I don't know which one it was, but we were talking about that, about like, are we creating teams that can survive multiple leagues and multiple championships? And I feel like LAFC could be the team to show that it's possible to win the CONCACAF and then go for the MLS Cup.
A double.
Yeah. I see that happening. I would want that. And I feel like the team is so strong right now and so solid that they can show that they're the team to be able to do that. And like Julio said, every player right now is at where they need to be able to substitute and replicate what the person that they were going in for, like they can go in and do the same thing.
And let me apologize to Aaron Long. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, don't come at my fellow.
But that was a great Weaker Zimmerman joke, though. But other than that, like, Aaron Long,
I didn't think you were gonna say it. I didn't think you were gonna say it.
I had to double down. I'm
sorry to you, but I stand by that. You're Weaker Zimmerman.
I'm sorry, but
no.
That's wild.
No. Like, all jokes aside, like, I think Aaron Long has been playing great, amazing. Like, him, Murillo, and Kalini, like that rotating they did. I'm saying, and now they can put in Maldonado in with those four. Like, they're just so deep everywhere. But for real, a sincere apology to Aaron Long. Come to the podcast.
You just made
pull up on us.
U.S. men's national team.
He's on the roster. Yeah, so he's doing a great thing. I was a little upset because I just wanted a bigger name. And I'm man enough to admit that. And then you went to Riverside with Bridget. So
our side, baby.
So let's talk about the men's national team roster. So they got the U.S. men's national team is playing Mexico. I think what they call the Allstate Clasico. It's a friendly. It's like they're trying to. It's like, they're making some.
It's a waste of time.
Waste of time.
Money grab.
Yeah, and the lineup the roster that we selected. I wouldn't say it's the strongest that we've put out.
MLS heavy.
Yeah, very MLS heavy. I think Serginho Dest is the only non-MLS player on the roster. You feel bad for Serginho?
Yeah, no. The thing is not because he's in his roster. It's just things like his whole what's going on with AC Milan. They're not picking up his contract.
Yeah.
So he's
been going through it.
He's been going through it just seems like he's just not wanted anywhere he goes.
One thing that I thought about, I was driving home the other day, but one thing, next time we get a men's national team player on, we should ask if he sees a difference in the MLS players. We should ask this to Kellen, but the MLS players versus the European players or the players that are not in MLS, and see, do they hang out with it? Like, are there cliques? You know what I mean?
I was thinking of that too.
Yeah. So I think that's something interesting to explore. But but back into the U.S. versus Mexico. So, Bridget, you're obviously big. You're from Mexico.
Del Rancho.
Yeah. Del Rancho way.
Yeah, don't get her started.
Next pod, I'm gonna pull up in my boots.
The tricolor.
My jersey.
India Maria right there.
Oh, got you.
So as a Mexico fan, because I think U.S. fans kind of feel like they have the upper hand, especially after beating them in the Gold Cup and the Nations League back-to-back finals. Was that 2021?
It was last
2021. It wasn't. It was before the World Cup. It was before the World Cup. It was like November. Late.
So many cups being won against Mexico. It was just kind of
yeah. So now in this kind of Allstate Clasico, which they're kind of trying to make into a thing, it's not a thing. Like, stop trying.
Mexicans don't have insurance. I don't know why they go.
Yo, come on.
Dang.
So, do you see this as like a legitimate competition? Like, from as a Mexico fan, like, do you want to kind of get this? Do you see this as like a revenge opportunity?
Yeah, I think any game that is played against the U.S., Mexico wants to show who they are on the field, and us as fans and spectators, like, we want them to show that we are competition, that we can take wins, and that we can rise above the U.S., especially when it comes to soccer. Will they? I'm not sure. I don't think that – I haven't really seen, like, what the lineup looks like and who they have, but I I can't say that like it's solid enough for me to be like, yeah, they're gonna go in and win it.
Right.
But I do want them to show up and just play their game, and I would want Mexico to win, and I would want them to take it. But it's hard right now. It's a little hard, especially with just the record that they have against USA currently. It's a little sad.
No, it's basically like Liga MX All-Stars versus MLS All-Stars, USA MLS All-Stars.
Right.
So it's going to be like, I'm thinking, going back to that, what league is better? Like, it's showing right now, like, who can develop better players. Of course, like, all jokes aside, USA does have the upper hand because of the 2 last finals, but let's be serious. Mexico is Mexico. They're a great team. Yeah. They're always going to be in it.
Competitive. They're
competitive.
Always
like, one of the most memorable games I remember is that Giovanni Dos Santos chip.
Oh my god, that's like, crazy. I was gonna ask if you guys had any favorite memories from the
USA Mexico.
Landon Donovan telling Marquez to catch up.
Dang.
That's the one.
That's the one right there.
Yeah, that's the one. Donovan was savage against Mexico.
Leon, like,
and then
you can't do that.
He was doing like the whole scarf.
Yeah, the whole taco stand up.
He was out there doing his thing.
No, but that Marquez Donovan rivalry. Oh my, it was the best.
That was. How about you, Bridget? Do you have any?
I can't really say if I have like specific ones.
That Dos Santos.
I mean, yeah, that one's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I remember I got to see Mexico play out here, but I don't think it was against the U.S. at the Rose Bowl. That's the only game I've been to at the Rose Bowl, actually, was to go see Mexico. I don't know if I have any specific ones, but
from
anytime that they win is my favorite. I'm just going crazy.
That's a terrible answer.
Si, senor.
Anytime we win, that's it.
No, definitely.
Was it Michael Bradley that had that the long range
chip.
Absolute freaking bomb? Like just
Bradley, there you go.
Yeah,
40-yard chip. I think they lost that game though.
I think they might have.
That
was like 2015, 2014, somewhere around there.
That's another guy that had like a bad attitude against Mexico.
Bradley.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michael Bradley. Is he still playing? Yeah,
in Toronto. Yeah, with his dad. His dad is coaching him.
Father son stuff.
Yeah, shout out to nepo babies out there. That's
Maple Leaf Mafia right there.
Yeah. Okay, so now this game on the 19th is going to set up the Nations League final or semifinal, sorry, between U.S. and Mexico. And now that is something I think is going to have a little bit more juice behind it, as it's, a legitimate competition. I think the Nations League has kind of stepped up a little bit in terms of like the importance people feel, especially after the U.S. won it last year. Canada and Panama are on the other side of the bracket. I think Canada's they're hungry. They're looking for some hardware.
They're trying to make a noise.
Yeah, they want to win something. They're trying to go home with some kind of, with this generation, players that they feel is the best that they've ever had. They're looking to take some home. So I think if they're able to beat Panama, which won't be an easy game for them, playing U.S. versus or Mexico, that's going to be a huge final. But are you guys paying attention to the Nations League? What are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you want to see more kind of competitions in CONCACAF when it comes to this, or is it just Gold Cup or nothing?
Oh no, I think it shows a lot. First of all, that Mexico USA semifinal usually never happens. Those are two teams that usually in the final. So just to see them in the semifinals, like, you do not want to play for third place.
Right.
If you lose, usually those teams, if they lose, they're going to second place. So, but now, like, it could be like bragging rights. First of all, you don't want one team to win it all every single time. So, the U.S. is trying to go back to back, but Mexico's there to try to stop it. But either way, whatever those two teams win, the other side, Canada is Panama, right?
Panama.
Yeah, Panama. Yeah, thank you for coming out. But like, it's really like no. All jokes
don't sleep on them, bro. They beat Canada. They beat Canada in World Cup qualifying. They beat Canada in World Cup qualifying.
That snore is crazy.
That's
a real life.
And it's real.
No, that's a real life snore. That's not made up. Yeah.
So yes, no, but Canada's coming like that unwanted child, trying to make some noise in the family, and yeah, like you might use all your energy for Mexico, U.S., like either team might use all the energy for each other, but they gotta know like a dog is coming.
Underdogs.
Yeah, underdog's coming and they're ready to fight. They were the top point leaders in the World Club qualifiers. beat both teams.
Yeah.
So just like be prepared because it's gonna be a great Leagues Cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the Gold Cup? Are y'all looking forward to the Gold Cup? I know Julio was at the draw today at SoFi.
Shout out to Urban Pitch. I got lucky enough to go
You
to
want
the
to
draw
give us
today.
some highlights of the work we sent you to do?
Yeah, my camera skills are not the best, but
Bridget was roasting him in the group chat. Yeah, Bridget was straight roasting.
I'm gonna have to show you how to take pictures, Julio, because
I seen your Instagram. You suck.
says the one that all his pictures have been taken by me.
Oh.
So
Child,
and I don't ask you for
you gonna
credit.
start drama.
Oh no! You're gonna get him in trouble.
Let's cut that.
Get him in trouble.
My brother takes a lot of pictures of me as well. My brother takes a lot of pictures of me as well.
Yeah, I can't.
Well,
No, but back to the Gold Cup. No, just walking in, just seeing some of the coaches walk in. First of all, what was the Canadian coach's name again? Whatever, the Canadian coach walks in.
Herdman, John Herdman.
Yeah, not a lot of people asked him any questions. He walked in, but he walked in with confidence though. He walked in with a presence. Nobody really asked him questions. Like, I feel like they're sleeping in Canada, and that's the biggest mistake you can do.
Yeah.
I feel like US still has to figure out. We got to find a coach. Like,
Yeah, Anthony Hudson.
Anthony
still
Hudson's
an
cool.
interim manager.
Yeah, but
he hasn't done a
he's not
bad
doing a bad job. But it's like when you're when your teacher's out and you get a sub, you wouldn't
not the same.
All
you're
right.
there, but you're not there.
You're acting out a little bit more.
You're not showing up on time.
Like if I mess up, like
Who are you?
who are you? Like of course, like all right,
Julio's a substitute teacher's nightmare.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Oh my gosh.
first name Seymour. No,
I would
but
hate to be a teacher.
Oh my goodness.
there's a lot of talent. One of the biggest things they said, and the drawing was like, all teams are level is climbing, so there's not gonna be an easy. It's not gonna be an easy game.
Seriously, CONCACAF. I mean, it's always been seen as a weaker territory in terms of soccer nations. But now it's not as top heavy as it used to be. Whereas kind of US and Mexico running things. Now I feel like you see teams like Panama, like Jamaica is stepping up.
Jamaica's gonna be scary.
Honduras has been making some strides.
El Salvador's always there.
Yeah.
They're just there. They show up
just there.
here. They're
El Salvador,
showing up.
they're there,
Shout out to all
but
people.
yeah, but I mean, like Costa Rica has always been good too. So now you're I feel like it's becoming, the parity is starting to rise up.
No, in like other like upcoming nations like Nicaragua, like usually they're not there, and they're coming up, and then just these island teams. A lot of these island teams, people sleep on them just because they have no real soccer history, but most of their players are playing in the EPL or in these high leagues in England, because they have that Jamaican descent,
Sure.
Barbados descent. So once they see that these new World Cup spots are opening up for 2026, if you're not gonna make it with England, what makes you think they're not gonna come and try to make a World Cup with your parents' country? Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be a great Gold Cup, because it's gonna show what that 2026.
It's a sneak peek.
Yeah.
To what we'll get to see in 2026.
So it's gonna be fun.
I'm excited. I'm really excited actually for this. In a way that I always kind of look forward to the Gold Cup, but I feel like this year the anticipation is a little bit higher. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm sure 2026 has something to do with it, and the fact that we're not going to get World Cup qualifying, so the amount of competitive games that we're going to be watching is going to be limited. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to kind of see these high level, high intensity matches, because we're not going to get a lot of those.
And it's going to transition to Copa America, because they're going to invite five CONCACAF teams. Mm-hmm. So this is going to show our top five is going to go play against Argentina, Brazil, Peru.
That's going to be huge.
This is exciting times for soccer fans, and hopefully we can cover them.
And hopefully we can be there.
Yeah, no, we're
going to show up.
Yeah.
Hey,
Pull up on us.
pull up on us.
Brazil,
the Urban Pitch
Brazil trip,
minivan.
Brazil trip. I brother keep behaving in America.
Yeah. Brazil is crazy.
Leave me at Bubuzela, just like chilling.
We could hit the carnivals out there.
Yeah, my God. Yeah.
I don't want to see who. We might not get Julio back.
Yeah,
if
no,
we
he
go.
might stay
Julio
out
and
there.
Carnival, he's gonna stay out.
Fala português?
Yeah.
A seleção brasileira jogando bonito. Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Julio César.
Monterosh.
Monteros. Obrigado.
Obrigado. All right, let's switch gears up here a little
Just
bit.
juggling like the paperwork.
Yeah. He's
gonna become the next Brazilian freestyler for.
yeah. All of a sudden,
Obrigado.
Yo, Bridget, you relax. Bridget. It wasn't that funny.
It's because I literally saw.
It's because her weed fell off the third grade.
Hey.
It just looks funny from this angle.
Yeah, I know.
You went too hard.
No, I cracked my neck. I can't breathe. Hey, I don't want to be Brazilian or Portuguese no more.
Oh my God.
That's just dangerous.
You're not gonna last.
I'm not gonna last in Brazil. Brazil, I can't make it.
I can't breathe.
Obrigado.
Okay, all right.
Julio César out.
Yeah, that does it for Julio's Brazil era.
That's it. It
That's
started
sad.
and ended right here in this podcast.
Let's switch stuff up. Let's change gears here.
had a
Let's
future.
go to the women's side of things. U.S. women's national team just wrapped up their latest round of friendlies. I think they have one more before the 2023 World Cup. Have you all been watching, paying attention? Slightly, yeah.
I just knew that Ramsey was in Austin being a cowboy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we actually kind of last minute ended up going to Austin.
Why is his budget so big, though? I just wondering.
It's like
To be planning last minute trips.
in the moment,
Must be
in the moment, it's like,
Nice.
yes, let's get the let's get the barbie, let's do all this, let's get drinks, forget it, like, and then now I looked at my credit card bill, bro. Oh my God, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
So,
Can we expense it?
look, man,
Look at the camera.
any kind of fraud, I'm like, if anybody knows scammers, like I'm trying to like pawn this off onto somebody else.
I got a deal.
I
I got a deal.
So all right, yeah, I'll hit you off camera, but yeah. So Austin was cool, man. The Q2 stadium, it seemed bigger to me than LAFC's, but it said it was a sellout at like 21 something.
Oh, shit.
So like BMO's like 22. So. It seemed bigger. I don't know why. It was like the maybe it's more steep.
They did the green light show?
Yeah, they did the lights. It was cool. The seats like where we were at were nice. So I'm looking forward to making a trip back again.
That's crazy how you went to the Q2, so it was like a QT. Was that the Q2?
The Q2, yeah.
There you go.
And Mal, so my girlfriend got us to the
Oh,
stadium.
you gotta bring her out there. Give her a great pickup line.
She
My QT.
QT.
Yeah. She got to the stadium. She was still on Pacific time. So we got to the stadium 2 hours early.
Oh.
And like we got there and there's no one there. I mean, I
Right.
was like, yo, isn't this supposed to be a sellout? Like, what's going on? And,
was at
we
Houston.
looked, she was like, I'm pretty sure it was at 11, the game. I was like, yo, 11 sounds kind of early. So she looked it up. It's at 1. So we got there like an hour early for that. So we're 3 hours early.
Oh my God.
What a teacher.
But I know, yeah. But
She was on spring break.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's on spring break mode. She had too many mimosas or
Yeah.
something. But I looked into like the distance, like, yo, what's going on out? Like, because it's kind of like out. It's not near downtown, so there wasn't like, it was like gas stations and stuff. I was like, yo, what's near here? And then I saw like these big nets, like far out. I was like, yo, that kind of looks like a Topgolf net. And I looked it up. Sure enough, it was. So we walked to Topgolf, hit some balls.
Oh my gosh, somebody was upset.
You know what I mean?
Of course,
This guy made it a golf trip.
of course he
Yeah,
finds it go.
yeah. No, it was fun though. She
She enjoyed it. She enjoyed it because I was having fun. So I mean, she was having fun.
Yeah.
She was like this the whole time.
The whole time Ramsey planned that.
Yeah, I know. I was like, no, it's at 11:30. It's at
He
11:30.
switched her phone settings.
Oh
This is
no!
all-
Like I
this
guess
is
we
all-
have to go to Topgolf now.
I mean, look. Do you see that? That looks familiar.
Yeah.
Babe, I'm having a great time. Yeah, I'm just been golfing for an hour. You've been waiting there.
No, she was hitting some bombs out there too.
Yeah.
We're working on the swing a little bit, so she's got it though. No, she's got a good setup. Yeah.
You gave her all little setup. Everybody was like, yeah, baby, you're doing good.
Yeah.
Keep going. You're
Yeah,
doing
keep
great.
going. Yeah, no hands.
No, but for the actual game itself, it was pretty entertaining. I thought Ireland put up a good fight, and so the women's national team were going through a little bit of changing the guard where it's like the old player or the older, like the more established players are still, you know, still there, but there's that new kind of rising talents that are coming up too. So it's trying to find that right mix. Yeah, Rising Stars, shout out to Rising Stars FC.
AYSO, baby.
But Mal Pugh went down, torn patella injury.
Man.
Talked about that.
She got hit in the face, like moments earlier. She kind of came out with a head injury, as they do with players now. Vlaco kept her in. I'm sure she wanted to push to stay in, you know, but at this point in friendlies, you know, before a major tournament, like you got to play it safe. So I don't blame him. I don't think it was a bad decision as much as it was the wrong decision to keep her in. But it's just so tough to see her. She was playing at huge levels. Like she was scoring. She was playing, you know, in probably the best form. I mean, she's kind of had this hype behind her since she was coming up, and now she's like in her peak. So I'm really feeling thoughts and prayers out to her and her family. But Alyssa Thompson came in and filled in for her, and she looked pretty good in the moment too. But Vlaco was putting her in for 90 minutes, so she's cramping like in stoppage time, and she stayed in. So I don't know, man. Like it's these friendlies they're scary because anything can happen, and especially in a World Cup year, like you don't want anybody getting hurt. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see who makes the final roster. I think Alyssa now has a pretty good chance at making that final roster, which would be really cool.
How strong do you think we look? I feel like, well, I'm sorry.
No.
I just feel like that. It's just a whole new team coming in.
Yeah.
And you when it comes to the women's game, like you're way more into it than me. Not more way more into it, but just have way more knowledge than me. How do you see us compared to other like national teams?
Yeah. So England lost in their recent set of friendlies. I forget against who, but that's the team to beat. It's England and the U.S. There's a lot of, Spain is always good. Germany is always strong. Brazil is going to be strong, but I think it's going to come down to the U.S. and England in terms of like the heavy hitters, and it's usually the U.S. like kind of far and away. The Netherlands also have a strong squad, but I think we're making right strides. There's still I don't know if there's like the full squad is like the starting 11 normally I feel like is always like set in stone. Like you know who's going to be in that lineup. Right now, I think there's a couple of interchangeable pieces. A lot of questions. Julie Ertz just came back. She'll be coming. They said that she's going to find a NWSL team.
Angel City.
I know.
Dang.
If she goes to Angel City, that'd be huge.
Crazy.
Mal go crazy.
I know. She'd lose her mind. So we went there to see Julie Ertz. That's why we went. That's her favorite player forever. But she brings like just like a calming sense to the midfield that I don't think anybody like has done previously for almost any other team that I've seen, you know, like not just the women's national team. Like she's just a force in there that like instantly when she came in, like the change of pace played, you know, it was more exciting. We're more offensive, still stronger in the back too. So she's a huge piece, but we need to find her like replacement because she's not going to be there forever. You know what I mean? Like she already went down with the injury. It's been 2 years since she played. We couldn't find a replacement for her. There's a couple of people that were thrown out there that, you know, to mix results. But I think the key is to not just rely on her like they did in previous years. But we'll see. I'm excited for this World Cup. I think it'll be the biggest test for them so far in recent years, and I'm looking forward to it.
Do you think that change of generation, like change generations, going out with these people with great resumes and bringing these new people might hurt us? Because it's not even like we're slowly integrating new players. It's basically a whole new age group coming in.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of promising, like Naomi Girma, center back. She's already starting. Like she's our starting center back right now, and she's young. I think last year was a rookie season, but she won Defensive Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year for San Diego, and she's like already there. Trinity Rodman has shown flashes. I'd like her to finish a little bit better, but she's got all the tools are there. So I think, you know, just with more experience, she'll be there. Ashley Sanchez looks really good. So I think there's a lot of promise. Alyssa Thompson's going to be part of that. The plan moving forward. And Mal Swanson, was the one. Like she was going to be the next one, like the next. I mean, it's hard to say the next Alex Morgan, but that's how good that's her ceiling. And so I'm hoping she makes a quick recovery and comes back. But Yeah, I think to answer your question, I don't know if it'll hurt us, but I think that there's still a lot of talent, and it's not like we're slowing down. So
Right.
that's what you want to see.
It's an opportunity to allow like the new up and coming players to showcase who they are and to like set that, to understand what it looks like to play on the U.S. women's national team and like to play at that level.
Yeah.
And then from there, like they're gonna be the ones there for moving forward. So I think it'll show them. It'll be a testament to
and
their,
the longevity.
their game.
Yeah, the longevity you get with, because like some of these players are getting like 300 caps, which is like unheard of. Like in like on the men's side, like you don't get. They play more. I think they play more on the women's side. They play more international games, but still, like to have that kind of longevity with the team, like. It's hard to break through, you know, when Alex Morgan is on, I think like two something, you know, Carly Lloyd got her 300th before she finally retired. It's hard to break through, you know, so like the players now that are trying to kind of come through have a lot of expectations on them. That's a lot of pressure. So we'll see how they fare.
It's also hard to break something that's not broken. Like,
Exactly.
these players have been great for almost 3 World Cups.
Yeah, I mean, this will be their third. They lost in 2011 in the final to Japan, but they still made it to the final. They had a great team. One in 2015, one in 2019, and now this will be 2023.
Sheesh.
So
I'm excited.
It's been a really good run.
Fun summer.
Yeah.
A real World Cup summer.
Honestly.
Yeah.
The actual World Cup vibes are gonna be out here in the summer.
Yeah. We'll be outside.
We'll be outside.
We'll be outside.
Careful, the beanie's gonna fall off.
Yeah, the beanie's gonna fall off again.
Why do you make it seem like it's a toupee? It's a beanie. I got a whole set of hair. Like,
But the way it fell off, and he was like,
I'm out here.
The way it fell off, and he was.
He was scared.
I forgot I got hair.
No, but anything else y'all wanna talk about or bring up before we wrap up?
Anything for you?
Boanga, you amazing.
Yeah, MVP.
That's
That's
Boo.
MVP. That's MVP.
Boo. He is MVP.
You said that's boot.
That's Boo.
Oh, that's Boo.
That's
Boo.
Boo.
I was like, he's French, not German.
Boanga, Boo.
Yeah,
Short for Boo.
I know, but I thought you said. Okay, let's wrap it up there.
Let's wrap it up, please.
This has been the Urban Pitch Podcast.
Drink your water.
Life part of the Believe Network. Stay hydrated out there, folks. We got more stuff coming out. We got a couple of guests lined up for the next couple weeks, so we're excited for that. But until then, it's been another week. Stay healthy, stay hydrated. We'll see y'all.
Keep the vibes up.
Yeah, outside. We're staying outside, but we're staying inside at the same time. So for Julio Monterosa, Bridget Flores, I'm Ramsey Al-Mushala. We'll see y'all next time.
I'm about my pay stub.